Alright, so let's keep talking about the Disney animated canon with the fifth Disney film ever released, Bambi. Now, Bambi is one of those Disney movies that I have always treasured, no matter what. Ever since I've been a kid, this movie has always been one of my favorites, and it's one that I kind of forgot about in my teenage years, and then after that I rewatched it and thought that this is one of the best Disney movies. It is one of the most powerful, one of the most emotional, one of the most terrifying, um, just one of the best movies of Disney, like the animated Disney movies. I feel like it's definitely one of the best, and I think that it still holds up just like the four before this. Um, and this, for a fifth film that Walt Disney did, this is still fantastic and is truly a classic. The thing I love about this movie so much is that this movie is a really good interpretation of life. It's about a deer, though, about deer and woodland critters, but the way that it's executed is fantastic, and it's so timeless. The way that Bambi, this character, this naive kind of deer who learns all these lessons along the way to adulthood, works so fantastically. You get all this development with him. You start with him as a baby. You start with him standing up. You start with him like becoming friends with all these with Flower and got the rabbit Thumper. Yeah, with Thumper and Flower, and then you see him lose his mother. Then you see him become a young adult fighting Rano the deer and falling in love with Feline, and then dealing with this forest fire. And all these moments in Bambi's life signify what he is and really give such a great way of showing this I don't know about full life of this deer, but it shows such a great, fantastic way of him growing up. And it really does not shy away from the terrifying moments. And I love that this can be the most cutest Disney film and one of the most terrifying ones, because this movie, at the beginning of the movie, of course, it's got all the cutesy moments, which I think a lot of them are really funny still, where like Bambi is born and like Thumper, whenever he says, "Oh, he's trying to walk," and then you see with the sound effects too, it's hilarious. But you see like Bambi put his butt up, then put his leg up with his head up behind his legs, trying to figure out how to walk, and then he'll fall over. And it's really genuinely funny because it's just with the sound effects and with the animation, like it's really funny how this character is introduced and how you just show him from his first like moment of life, and then you see him grow up. And I love how you see the threat of man. How you never actually see a human in this movie. It's just they know man is in the forest, and I think that it works really well because you hear gunshots, or you know that like you see a fire like at a tent somewhere like out in the distance, but you never see any humans. You just know the threat is out there. The threat is real, and I love how Bambi as a young kid does not know what it is, and whenever the mother tells him this, you can feel with her performance she says that there's like you can't go out there, like there's something out there. And the way that this actress said this as this mother deer, like it was really good, and it really felt strong, and just how you really get the fact that us as humans know that we kill deer. But I like the idea of having that deer's point of view, where the baby deer is looking at the mom like, "I want to go out there to the meadow," and then she says like, "We can't go out there because man's out there." And even though she doesn't explain it strongly, he gets the reasoning, like he understands that there's danger out there. And I think that it's really great whenever he actually goes out there, and then the mother hears, like she looks up, hears a noise, and says, "Run, Bambi, run now. Run, get out of here." And then, of course, she they're both running, and she just keeps screaming, "Run faster, Bambi! Don't look back! Keep running!" And then, of course, you see the shot of Bambi running away, and then you hear a gunshot, and that, and then he runs back, and then his father, the mysterious father, we don't get much info about in this movie. Bambi runs back and says, "Mother, we're back. We made it." And then the father comes up and says, "Your mother can't be with you anymore." And then he says, "Come with me." And Bambi cries, and just by tears. Like, I love how you can give so much emotion throughout just this animation. Like this, that is one of the most. I didn't like feel traumatized as a kid, but watching it as an adult, like this is truly one of like a very, very, very strong emotional thing that is done with just the animation alone, and the fact that the mother, you get some good screen time with her nurturing of Bambi, that you, whenever she dies, his reaction to it, the animation on his face, how he cries, it is so strong and so literally like emotionally gripping, because whenever he finds out, it works so well. And then of course you fast forward to him being an adult after that, a young adult, and then I love how the movie started out being really cutesy and really just harm free. Like, it's something that's just them just having fun, and then the threat starts to arise, and then when the mom dies, and then I love how you see Bambi older, and he and Thumper and Flower are older now, and I like how you see like them falling in love too. It's just like a little slice of like little moments in his life of him falling in love with Feline, who he met as a kid, and Feline getting taken away by Rano, that other deer who he fights real quick, which is kind of out of nowhere in this movie. It's kind of explained in Bambi too, but in this one it's just kind of out of nowhere when that deer just takes her. So I don't understand that much in this one. But I mean, it's still good, but it's just interesting that that happens. But I guess that's just the deer showing his like authoritative state, taking the woman away from Bambi, and he fights him back. But like I said, in Bambi 2, they explain that Rano character more. But I love the fact that it gets darker after the mom dies. Bambi's older. The thing happens with the forest fire, and I love how you would not expect, if you saw this for the first time and knew nothing about it, you would think it would be just a cutesy little movie, like it's just all these cute characters doing funny things. And how intense and gripping it gets whenever the forest fire starts, or right before it starts. There's this bird who, like, all the animals know man's in the forest, so this bird is freaking out. Like, you see a scene of this bird freaking out on the ground, talking to the other birds like, "We should fly, we should get out of here, I can't take it any longer." And they're like, "Don't fly, don't fly." And then the bird says, "I can't take it." And then he flies, or she flies, and then the bird gets shot and the body falls down onto the other birds, and the birds fly away. That's scary that they show a dead body just fall down, even though it's a bird, but have it fall down onto the other birds and they fly away because of that threat. And you don't even see man still, you just see a gun kill, or you just hear a gun and then it dies. It just is done fantastically with that. And the forest fire is great, because it literally engulfs the whole forest. Them escaping, them running away. It's intense, it's dark. And they all finally make it up onto this little part in the water where like they can all get onto, but the but the forest burns down, presumably, or grows back at the end of the movie. But that, I just can't believe how intense that gets for this type of movie. You just wouldn't expect it to be this intense, especially from what the poster looked like and what the trailer was. Like, it's not marketed as this. And I love when a movie can do that. When a movie that's supposed to look just like something cutesy and harmless, but it gets intense and emotional and really thought provoking. It's a very simple story, but it works so incredibly well. because the characters are so fun and interesting, and it's so thrilling and terrifying, and it's dark, and the music is great. The song Love is a Song That Never Ends, the beginning and the end is fantastic. The ending shot, like the ending of the movie, whenever, after the forest fire, Feline gives birth to two other new deers, like twins, and it's like it's done, like it's a circle of life. It's coming back again. It's doing it again, where deers are born again, and I love how everybody around them are saying like, "Oh, Prince Bambi would be mighty proud," and then you see Bambi and his dad standing up on top of this hill while the "Love Is a Song" plays and work like in the with the choir, while the dad walks away and Bambi stands up there while it pans away where the song plays, and it is one of my absolute favorite scenes ever in a movie. It is. I literally get goosebumps every time you see Bambi up on top of the cliff, on top of the hill with his father, and his father walks away, and it pans out just to show him standing on top of the forest like he's becoming the king of the forest. It is emotional. The score is fantastic. The choir in Disney movies just get me. They give me goosebumps and give me emotions that I never expect. And that is one of the best scenes in any Disney movie ever, even if it's only a couple seconds. But it truly just is one of the best. And this is one of the best Disney movies. And I know people give it flack, like, oh, it could be boring or it's too kiddish. But I think people just forget about the dark moments in this movie. But I, for one, just think this is truly a fantastic movie. And I think it's one of Walt Disney's best, and I will never forget it. Ever.